Hey there. First of all, I want to say happy holidays.
Yes, guys. Happy holidays from Tweed Talks.
Okay, so we didn't have a show this week, but we are going to be a guest on...
Yes, this Thursday at 7 p.m. We are going to be a guest on Tea Time with Bunky. We will be sure to share the link with you guys so you can watch us. It's either on Facebook or on YouTube. This time we're going to be the guests.
We are the guests.
Yes. We are going to be interviewed.
We're
flipping the script a little bit. So we hope you guys can join us. Once again, that is this Thursday, December 28th, 7 p.m. on Tea Time with Bunky. Hope to see you guys there.
Bye-bye.
Welcome to Tea Time with Bunky. This is Richard. Hi, Ben. All right.
Welcome to Tea Time with
Welcome to Tea Time with Bunky. This is super recent. Welcome to Tea Time with Bunky. I missed you guys. I really, really did. Oh my God, guys. Welcome to Tea Time with Bunky. Welcome to Tea Time with Bunky. Thank you all that are tuning in right now, because you're tuning in from YouTube, because apparently my Facebook stream isn't even working. I am so over it. But anyway, God got it either way. Y'all will see it after the fact. Thank you for Tea Time, for coming on to Tea Time with Bunky tonight. Thank you to all my Tea Time with Bunky followers and subscribers that have been with me through this crazy journey. This is the second time I've been on lockdown. This is the second time. But God is still good. You know, everything works out for the good. That's how I see it. For those that would like to, I want to say where I'm streaming from. It's YouTube. You guys follow my YouTube. Forget the Facebook thing. Forget the Facebook thing. Hey, Lisa, you can also you can listen to this also on Thursdays. Thursdays at 8 a.m. it re-airs on the radio. On Zeno FM, on the radio stations Culture Shock, which is in Canada, Rockbox Radio, Radio Ficero in New Mexico, Wapter Music FM in Guadalupe. And on Sundays at 12 p.m., you can listen to it on Confidence Radio, Village Global Network. Shout out to the VGN. I'm also on the multiple podcast platforms, Pandora Radio, Stitcher, Spotify, Radio Public, Google Podcasts, Pocket Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Cashbox, and Amazon Music. So after tonight's show, you'll be able to hear this on those platforms, and you'll be able to listen to it on the radio station, but that's neither here nor there. Tonight's special guests are the Tweeds. Well, one of two so far of Tweed Talks, Crystal and Pedro Tweed. We're going to get into them in a second, but I want to wish everybody a super happy holidays. We're going into 2024. Go into it with positive vibes. Leave all the negativity behind you. Don't make New Year's resolutions because you never follow through with them. So happy New Year to everybody. I will see you next year. So without further ado, we are going to welcome Crystal, yay, of Tweed Talk.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm better now. We were passing sickness all around the house right on Christmas, the day before Christmas, Christmas Day, the day after. So I'm finally about like at 70%.
Ooh. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thank you.
Thank you for being a part of this, ending this out with the two of the Sullivan County podcast platforms.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Very excited.
And we've never had this we've never conversed. So this is our first time meeting.
Yes, it is.
Which people are probably like, how is that possible?
How is that possible?
I don't know. As you see, my Facebook at all isn't working now. Even
you told me, yeah.
I thought my Bunky page was working, my Tea Time with Bunky page.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm like, what kind of, this is crazy.
Well, I'm sharing it on my page.
Well, yeah, it'll go, yeah, but my page, nobody can see it or doing it. It said that it was going live. That's why I stress to people to follow my YouTube page, because you don't know what's going to happen. And what I learned about this thing is when people, anybody can report anything they want, right? And when they stop it, it messes up your algorithms. It messes everything up. And I'm over it, whatever. We'll get the word out. But anyway, tell everybody a little bit about you. Then we'll get into all your good stuff.
Thank you guys for joining tonight. I'm really honored to be on the show, minus the better half who is in the bed recuperating, because after I finished, I passed it along to him. So he is still resting. Glad to be here. Tweed Talks is now on hiatus until the end of January. So, this is a good way for me to stay in practice. Well,
yeah.
Yes, so while we don't have the show, but I'm really so glad that you invited us to be on the show. Thursdays typically do not work for us, but since the gym is closed this week and we just have a select amount of kids that are coming in from the competition team, this is why we were able to finagle it.
See, everything works. Everything works out the way it's supposed to. So
yes.
I wanted to ask you guys on for a while, but I was nervous. I don't know. I didn't know. You guys have a lot going on. And when I looked at your stuff, like the Tweeds Gymnastics. You guys have Tweeds Gymnastics, which is located on 33 Lakewood Avenue, Monticello, New York. You guys take kids from 14 months?
14 months through middle school age for recreation. And then we do have a couple of girls that are high school that are on the competition team.
Well, that's amazing. I've always in my mind, when I was little, I was a gymnast. I wanted to be a gymnast, but number one, I didn't think we had one around here. That was 1970. So I don't think we had one around here. And then if we did,
77 it started.
Really?
77 he started coaching.
Locally in Sullivan County?
In Monticello, yes.
Now, the only person I knew that did it was Marvin Gilmore.
Huh.
But
what year did you graduate?
I graduated in 89. Marvin's older than me.
89. So let me think. Do you know Lori Goldsmith or Tamara Reynolds? Or I'm just dropping some names.
Are they from Monticello?
They're from Monticello.
See, I'm from Fallsburg.
Ah.
So I wouldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't know who they were. So, okay. 1977. Wow. Well, you're here now. So when my grandkids decide they want to do it, they could do it. You're also, since your husband's not here right now, we can talk a little bit about you. You are an actress, or were an actress, a model. You've been on the Today Show.
Yes.
You were on the morning show.
Yes.
You were on commercials.
Yes.
Theater.
All of the above. Yep.
All of the above. Now, you grew up here in Monticello.
I did.
You did. So how did you get in? That's not even a part of the conversation, but it changes. Okay. How did you get into that?
It wasn't until I was an adult. Well, let me just preface with saying this, that when I was in elementary, middle, and high school, I was always involved in performance arts. So I was always on stage. I played violin. So that was sort of my entrance into that world.
Okay.
But I didn't step foot on a stage to act until I was married. Oh. So I was maybe like 30 years old.
Okay, so why is that?
I don't know. I just felt basically like so many people sort of expected me to do that. So I was just trying not to do that.
Okay.
Until I was just like, hey. And I was doing the modeling thing. And then I was just like, hey, those worlds are very much connected. acting and modeling. So I responded to an ad in, what was it? The Sullivan County Democrat.
Oh, the Democrat. Okay, shout out to the Democrat.
For the Sullivan County Dramatic Workshop, which is in Fallsburg.
Yes.
And I did a production with them, and the acting bug bit me. And 5 shows later, I had done Hairspray, I had done Little Shop of Horrors, I had done A Raisin in the Sun. So yeah, and I'm still plugging along at 45 years old.
But okay, you was in the I Love New York tourism commercial.
I was in a couple of them, yes.
Oh,
because one is now currently airing that I just shot the beginning of this year.
So you're still acting and doing all of those things?
Still.
Is your heart still in it?
Oh, very much so.
Okay. So are you more, is Pedro, I'm sorry. The gymnastics thing, is that more you or Pedro?
That's more Pedro. That is more Pedro. Yeah, he was already coaching, as I mentioned before, since the late 70s. Okay. I was not born yet in 77. But he was already coaching, and then right around the time, because he was working for the Village with that program, but right around the time, I think maybe like 2011, when he retired from the Village, we sort of took the program over on our own. And so now we're running it privately together. And I basically married into it. I had nothing to do with it at first. He was coaching, and then, you know, once we took it over, we're like, okay, we're going to run with this thing. So now we run the program.
So did you meet him doing gymnastics, or?
I did not.
You didn't. So how did you guys meet? Like,
okay, this is
talk about him, and I watched your guys' body language, and I'm like, wow, she found her person.
I really did. It's a really cute story. So my oldest was going to school, cook school, and every day or every week, the teachers sent home flyers in their folders. So she came home one day, I opened up the folder, and here was this flyer for weight training for Village residents that was totally free. So I was like, yes, I want to do that. And I had always, you know, been involved with fitness my whole life. So I walked in the door, and there he stood at the neighborhood facility, which used to be called the Dome. It's the Ted Strobel building. I walked in, he was there, and he's like, so I found this out later. He's like, wow, look at her. So then he says, okay.
You are beautiful.
Thank you. So he gave me a piece of paper and a pencil. So he said, write down your name, your age, and what your fitness goals are. So I wrote all that down, and he was like, oh, wait, she's only 20. I was like 22 or 23 years old. I was like, no, I'm sorry. I was maybe like 26 or 27. Okay. Somewhere around there.
Angie, your daughter's on.
Hi, baby. No, Kenita. I'm certain I was younger than that. And he's like, oh, she's too young. So when I wrote that down on the paper, I think he says to me that was a way that he could see like how old I was to make sure I was smooth.
Wow. So who overlooked? Look, I'm all in your business. That wasn't.
Ask away.
Well, who pursued who? How did that happen? Because he's thinking she's too young. What did you think when you saw him?
Nothing.
Because he's a martial artist.
Nothing. Nothing. But I really wanted to weight train. So I was faithful in going there every Friday, I think it was. And I was going every Friday, and it was like a group of us. And we started, yes. He says you were 29 when we got married. That's true. So we started hanging out after weight training. It was a group of us. And I had never had sushi before. So he's like, oh, let's all go out to Wanbo Buffet and have sushi. So we all went out together. And around that time, I was still sort of in a relationship. And, I wasn't even thinking along those lines. So then I ended up getting pregnant. I had baby number 2. That's Layla, who's now 20. And Angelica, she's who brought the flyer home. Thank you, Angelica. And so then I stopped weight training, and he didn't see me for a while. The next time he saw me, I was walking into the bagel bakery, and he says my belly entered first. Yes, because I don't know how far along I was, but I was very pregnant.
Oh wow. I would. Oh,
yeah.
Mr. Tweed, how did you feel about that?
Oh yeah, but it was very interesting because I ended up having Layla, and then once that relationship had come to an end, I went back to start working out again.
Right. And then
we were working out, and then we sort of became connected. And listen, I had this on my mind. I was going to the neighborhood facility on Saturdays. Nobody goes there on Saturdays to learn grappling. Do you know what grappling is?
No, you're going to say, what is that?
Grappling is like wrestling. And there was only one other person there. Who was that one other person?
Mr. Tweed.
Obviously. So who was I grappling with? Listen, a mess. Just a mess. I knew what I was doing.
I'm about to start coughing. That's fate. That was meant to be. Man, oh man. And then you fell in love.
Yeah, pretty much. I had started weight training, and with Jacob, and then he was like simultaneously, he was teaching weight training and kickboxing at the same time. Okay. So I would look over, I'm like, oh, I want to do kickboxing. And he's like, yeah, come over. And so he said he saw me throw some kicks, and he said it was love at first kick. And that's the story he tells.
That's the story but you said you caught his eye when you walked in. And you know what I think it was? It's probably your eyes. Because for people that can't see, your eye color is amazing. It's like,
don't trust them people with light eyes. They're coming to get you.
Yes, they will. They will. Now, to ask you a question. Like this is totally going off. This is what happened. Going off the whole thing. People are getting to know you. That's what's going on. People are getting to know you. Now, being a single mom at the time, because I was a single mom, and it's hard. It's hard to trust people. Like, how did you trust him with your girls? Like, that's hard.
That was easy.
Okay.
His reputation preceded him, bar none. Like, I had heard about him so many times. His name was printed on the flyer. He had roots in the area. I sort of around about knew his daughter, but we're several years apart. But as soon as I walked in, like I knew who he was. I was not expecting the accent. Completely threw me for a loop. Here I'm walking in, and when most people think of Hispanic, they don't really think of like a darker skin. I typically do not. So I walked in and we start talking. He's like, hello, how you doing? And I'm like, what?
Oh, snap.
There's a little sauce, a little bit of sauce.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow.
There's a little bit of salsa in this black. So I was like, okay.
Oh wow. So that was like a little extra check right there. Okay, you're fit, you're healthy, and you got an accent. All right.
And I always had sort of like an affinity for the Spanish language. As soon as I could start taking Spanish in the 6th grade, I took it all the way through high school into college. So I always had an affinity for the language. So that was just like coming together, you know?
Oh, it was meant to be. Everything was set up in a way that it was supposed to happen. That is, well, maybe I'll find, I don't know. Whatever. I don't have time. Happy 2024. Listen. Whatever. Now, you guys have this. You are PR.
Yes.
You're also a PR. with?
Okay. The PR came from out of nowhere.
Okay.
Well, so I had started live stream hosting in February with this company in the city called WeBranding. So I would go into the city twice a week. I would do live stream hosting. I was promoting like kitchen products, home products, tech, and stuff like that. Absolutely loved it.
Okay.
So they ended up saying, okay, Crystal, you could do it from home. So I was doing it from home, and that sort of dwindled down. But I kept my page. I was only like one of the last live streamers to keep the page with their company. And so out of the blue, they were like, would you want to do PR? And they sent it to me in a WhatsApp message first. I was like, maybe. So we had a Zoom meeting. They were like, would you want to do PR? I'm like, well, what would I be doing? They said, well, I've never done it before. And they said, well, you'll be sending emails, contacting journalists, following up, promoting products. And I was like, I kind of do all of that right now. So they said, okay, I do it from home. I'm in the city 1 day a week. And I just started this like in November. The way it happened was so crazy. But I have to tell you, I want to give this as a testimony for anybody that is watching. Because back in April, I submitted for a pretty big television job. And I'll tell you what it is momentarily. And I ended up getting it. But it really did not align with my faith lifestyle. It didn't.
And you got to stick with that. You got to listen to the spirit.
You do. Right. You do. And you will be rewarded. Let me tell you guys, hands down. It may be a hard process to get through, like emotionally, but after, hey, Rashad, after consulting with my pastor and things like that, I said, it was hard for me to accept it, but I knew immediately I had to do it. So like in the 11th hour, I was like, I'm sorry, but I'm going to go in a different direction.
Okay.
So the job was for the New York Lottery. And all I have to do is say one name, Yolanda Vega.
Yes, I know Yolanda.
And so I ended up turning that down.
Really? Well, because it didn't align.
It didn't align. I submitted in April, auditioned in June, booked the job in July. And it was a really long process because it's a state job. You're working for the state.
Really?
So the paperwork is, but then, so this PR job, I say it came from out of nowhere, but it was what I was praying for.
Right.
So
and people don't realize. You got to be careful what you pray for, because when God give it to you, you got to be ready for it.
Yes. And I was questioning. I was like, I have never done this before.
Right.
But there is a saying that goes, if God brings you to it, he'll bring you through it.
He'll bring you through it. Yes, he will. Yes.
So I stepped out on faith, and listen, every single day, you guys, I am questioning whether I'm capable of doing this job myself personally. But you can't do that. You know that when you are called and you are chosen to do something, that he will equip you to do it. So I just wanted to say that.
That's a whole 1000% fact right there, because I went back to school at 45. At 45, for my associates. Question all the time, Lord, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Everything I went to school for lined up with every job I've had, right? And then here comes this podcast, which has nothing to do with anything, but it kind of does, because it is human services, and I question God with this. I'm like, this is not my thing. I don't talk to people. You see, I've never met you when you're right here, because I'm not out in the front like that. But when God brings you to it, he will bring you through it. And as he's bringing you through it, all the doors are opening. All the lights are turning green. Everything is just aligning.
It's amazing. Awesome. And then, so the team asked me now to go with them to Vegas at this huge convention. I'm going for 8 days. Okay. And, it's amazing. I'm like, oh my God. I'm just like, am I really doing this? And I am.
You're doing it. Wow, that's a testimony. And for anybody that's listening, when God opens up a door that you asked for, and some people might be asking, thinking it'll never happen, but I really want to do this, or my heart really wants to, but it'll never happen for me. And then God is just boom, fly the door opens and be like, here it is. Now what you gonna do with it? So I love it. I'm so glad.
Angelica is gonna make me cry. Angelica, stop.
Well, you know what?
Angelica.
Get your flowers. Give your mom her flowers now. Give it to her. Yes. Your daughter was on my show. She's a sweetheart. Yes. And she is funny as what?
Angelica, no grass grows under that girl's feet. She will be home at 10 a.m. and then call you 2 hours later and be like, I'm back in Albany, mommy. I had something to do. But the hustle in this girl, really, I can't, I hustle. I know I'm here, there, but really, I have to say she gets it from my mom.
Really?
She gets it from Grandma June. Yep.
Shout out to Grandma June. She laughing. Shout out to, well, it's, I don't know. She's a photographer. Her photos are beautiful. I had asked her to do pictures of me because I'm all over the place. I say I want them done and then I don't. But she was like, well, I'm gonna be in Albany this week, or one other time. Oh, I'm gonna be down there, but it's a different family event. And all right. So, but I watch her. She's young and she has no limitations, and you did good with her. You did good with her.
Thank you. Angelica was the only one in this house working during the pandemic.
Well, yeah, her job didn't close. Her
job didn't close. Me and Pedro was at home shooting workout videos, doing stuff. And not only that, she took up photography during the pandemic, bought her own camera, and started shooting. And now look at her.
Look at her now. I think her subjects, Shanice and Leash, they got the most beautiful pictures.
Exactly.
Because of her. And, it was because of their pictures. I was like, well, who is this girl? And then they had their little podcast. And then I saw her on there. I'm like, who is this girl? So she's out there. So shout out to Angie for those that want your pictures taken. Angelica Mac Photos. Is that it? Angie, put it in there. What? Mac Photography? I'm not sure what it is. Put it in there. Okay. Tweed Talks.
Yes.
That come about. Was that mine was a COVID thing. Was that a COVID?
It was a COVID thing.
Okay.
We kept seeing a lot of posts on Facebook, half joking, half not. Oh my God, everybody's going to be fat after the pandemic. Ain't nobody working. We sitting at home eating all this food. So at first we started doing live videos for fitness. And then we started seeing a lot of serious posts where people were struggling emotionally.
Yes.
Because they couldn't see their family. They couldn't work, so they weren't socializing. Parents that couldn't see their kids because they were far away and there were all these restrictions. So my husband thought about starting Tweed Talks as a way for us to keep people connected, first of all, and entertained was second.
Okay.
We were supposed to only do it until we went back to work. And now almost 4 years later, the show has continued.
And it's a diverse conversations like tea time. Talk about everything, all kind of conversations.
Everything. We have had folks on from writers to musicians, pastors, motivational speakers, you name it. You name it. A lot of people have been on Tweed Talks. People have been on Tweed Talks multiple times. And it just continues to grow because people refer like, hey, this would be a great subject for your talk show and things like that. So it just continues to grow. And I keep telling my husband, I'm like, honey, I am tired. And he's just like, nope, we got a guest. So every week he's planning this show, and then I'll meet somebody on set and I'm like, oh, we got to bring this guest in. So it's, it has really, really grown. And we understand that we're, providing help for people. We just had a young lady on last week who was dealing with recovery, wrote a book. I met her on a film set.
Mhm.
I met her on a film set. Yeah, so you never know who you're going to meet.
No, you don't. Have you been afraid to approach people to ask them to come on your show? Do you find that?
Afraid? No. But I am very mindful of when we ask people. Like if we're at a huge event where people are busy doing stuff, I'll wait till there's like downtime. But if it's really hectic, I don't do it. And I get on my husband for that. I'm like, honey, now's not the time. Hey, you want to be on our show? I'm like, listen, that cute accent worked on me. These people don't know you. So I'm never afraid. You know, but if we're in a conversation like, hey, your story is interesting, we would love to have you on our show. And they're like, wow, really? So it's, you know, I'm never afraid, but just cautious of the timing.
Have you ever had anyone on your show and halfway through the show you thought, why am I talking to them? Have you ever been like, have you ever had that happen where it was like a regret?
I wouldn't say a regret, but sometimes people are not used to speaking on camera. Like I could talk all day. Even if you didn't send me a treatment or a script, it wouldn't matter. You know, but that's
totally not on the conversation flow anyways.
No, we're not. I just realized I lost the earring. I must have been bobbing my head too much. So sometimes people are a little bit more of a challenge to get the conversation to flow organically, if I could use that word. So never. We had one guy on who was a comedian, and he dropped the N-word a few times. I'm like, look.
Oh, no.
I'm like, look, we gotta live in this community. You gotta roll it back.
Oh, yeah, that. Okay, no, because I asked you that because I've had it, I think, twice. I've had people on. It started off the pre-conversation, right? Started off like a conversation. Okay, look, I want to help this person. Let's get this conversation going. Let's get the word out. And I can't even say halfway through, like 10 minutes into the conversation, I'm like, why did I do this to myself? So that was one time. And then there was another time where there was someone on the show, and I was so confused. Okay. I was confused because I'm like, okay, this isn't what was presented. The conversations that I've had with him wasn't what was presented.
Wow.
And so both of those shows, because it bothered my spirit so bad, I had to do an apology show because I'm like, this is crazy. So now I'm more careful. I listen to my spirit when they're like, they really don't gel with you. And I've had people tell me, you know, Bunky, it's okay to say no. You know, you don't have to have people on that go against who you are. So I'm learning that definitely in 2024. You will not have any more.
Yeah. I mean, I will have to say that we have had some people on who are scheduled to have people on who are flaky on more than one occasion.
Okay. That's rough. People don't realize how hard that is.
Right. And like I said, if someone doesn't show up, we roll with the show. And those are some of the funniest shows because people come in and start commenting and just go crazy. But it's like, oh wait, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. And now, especially if you're an actor, every audition is filmed from home. You know how to use your camera. You know how to edit a video. You know how to upload it and send it via WeTransfer. You should know how to click a link. So I don't really know what's going on. So, and we had that happen a couple times. So that's an issue that we've had before.
So auditions are online?
Let me rephrase that. A lot of them are now in person again. But sometimes it'll be like, Crystal, you need to send in this audition. We need it by tomorrow. So you'll record yourself. I'll either have Layla read lines with me, my husband, or they'll like, you don't have to read the other person's line, or maybe it's like a monologue.
Okay.
So I'll shoot the video, clip it, and send it in.
So who's the funny one? Who's the funny one of you two? Who's the funny?
The funny one.
Who's the comedian of the two of you during the show? Because there's always one that like with the rec boys, there's always one who's more serious, and there's always one who's jokey. So of the two,
he
or
is
the
definitely more serious, but he gets the looks all the time. Like I shoot him the look, like, what are you saying? What are you doing? What's going on? Don't say that. You can't say that.
he said that you guys rarely book people that you don't know.
Right. So typically when we go to an event and if we meet someone, we have a chance to have a conversation with them. We'll meet them at multiple occasions. Like we go to this martial arts event every year in Atlantic City, and we see the same people over and over and over again. So we kind of get to know them. We see their Facebook page, so we know how they interact with people. So yeah, we basically know most of our guests.
I don't.
See, that's because you're not leaving the house. You have to leave the house.
You sound like so many people. They're like, you got to go outside, Bunky. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. But you know, it's kind of cool though. I like it because I'm meeting people that I would have never interacted with. There'll be people that I would have not normally engaged with that I'm talking to, like that. And as I engage, I realize we have more in common than we don't.
Wow.
Yeah, so
I love
it's really amazing. I've reached out to, well, people have brought me guests, or people have reached out to me, you know, I have a story. Would you like to hear it? And I love that so much. And I've seen people on Facebook, well, on platforms, and I've reached out to them and they said yes. And yeah, but the two that I regretted, one was referred to me and the other one, she reached out to me. Insane. That was, God, Crystal, when I say it was horrible, this woman was, and she's still stalking me today.
That's crazy.
She you don't want to say it, but I referred her to counseling. You know, I was like,
I thought you was gonna say I referred her to Tweed Talks. I was like, what?
I wouldn't refer her to anybody. I wouldn't refer her to anybody. She needs a therapist. She needs a therapist, and it's not a laughing game. I'm dead serious about therapy and stuff. But she straight said on the show, no, I don't want therapy because I don't want to feel better. I said, okay.
That's an issue in itself.
When I say it was a train wreck.
Oh my gosh.
It wasn't good for people that didn't know. It was great, engaging conversation because I knew how to play it off. But people that knew me kept commenting on my face. You know how your face just tells it all. It was.
Listen.
Now, if I threw you some gas, I would never throw you anybody that I think is insane. But would you take them?
Yes, sure.
Okay. All right. Now, do you guys talk to, now I see I have like the jazz. I had the jazzy music for you guys video because to me, looking at you guys, I'm like, they sing jazzy, smooth jazz.
Yes.
Is that you guys, smooth jazz or?
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm like, you just look like smooth jazz people. So, but would you talk to like hardcore, I want to say hardcore, hip hop artists?
I'm trying to think if we've had hip hop artists on before. Because this year was the 50th anniversary of hip hop. So we've had a couple on. We had a couple on.
Didn't you guys have a shirt, the shirts?
Yes.
See?
DJ Lisa Love, you still here, girl? We went to a celebration. Listen, we're everywhere. We went to a celebration in Hurleyville for the 50th anniversary of hip hop, and DJ Lisa Love was there selling t-shirts, and I'm like,
Remedy
we
tees.
need that. And then when we had her on, we had the t-shirts on.
Remedy tees. Yeah, I saw the shirt. Lisa's amazing, right? She was on. She was on for me last week, and the backstories. Like that's what I love to get when people they know one side of you, but when they come on the show, you get that backstory. Like I've had people on that were like, you know, I didn't mean to go there. This wasn't, this wasn't a conversation that I planned on having. And I'm like, that's what it's about, you know, the backstory. So people to get to know you. She's like, I'm still here. She helps me with everything. Lisa's amazing. Like when I started up, Lisa was my go-to person.
Really?
Because she did not because she doesn't know podcasting, but the little effect box I have, thinking Lisa's a DJ. She knows how to do all this stuff in my box. I'm like, I don't know how to do this. She would tell me, Bunky, do this, that, and the other. I couldn't get the camera to work. Bunky, do this, that, and the other. And forget it. I'm on my way to your house. She would just come over.
Oh my gosh.
And you need people like that in your life during this journey, you know.
You know, I have known Lisa for many, many years, but I guess we really didn't start actually speaking to each other till rather recently. I want to say like maybe over the past like 10 years or so, like when we would run into each other. Mm-hmm. Just a genuine, selfless person who's always giving. And whenever you see her, it's like you're the only person in the room. That's how she receives you.
Yes.
And that's so wonderful.
Those people are rare.
Very rare.
Those people are rare. And true, she hasn't changed, wavered in any way, shape, or form. You know, so shout out to both of our previous guests, DJ Lisa Love, Lisa McAdoo. Now, are you guys involved in? You guys are involved in community things?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're all over the place.
So shortly after, I mean, most people that are on here know us. Shortly after we lost my husband's oldest daughter, Amanda.
Mm-hmm. My condolences. I saw that.
Thank you. We just really felt the need to give of ourselves more, because when you lose someone that is so close, there should be a sense of urgency, and we felt a sense of urgency. So we had been invited to speak to the Monticello Rotary Club and share about gymnastics, talk about the program. And so they asked us to join and become members. My husband is busy. He's always in the gym, so he still is not fully a member yet, but I ended up becoming a member. And so now, you know, they do so many wonderful events in the area, whether it be food drives, they help senior citizens, programs with children, all over the community in Monticello, the surrounding community. Shout out to Monticello Rotary. They are so pivotal in making sure people have the proper, resources. That's the word I'm looking for.
Okay.
So they connect people with the proper resources. So we're involved with Monticello Rotary. We do lots of, we do a coat drive in our gym. We do a gift drive with, oh my gosh, what is the big gift box that people bring? Toys for Tots. We do that every single year. So we try to spread ourselves out a lot. You know, we're at events for Black Library and things like that.
Black Library, yeah.
And events in Callicoon, Delaware Valley Arts Alliance. I volunteer for them a couple times a year. I volunteer for the Big Eddie Film Festival. I am really like everywhere.
I was going to say you are everywhere. Mm-hmm. Sounds exhausting.
It is.
But rewarding. Exhausting.
It is very rewarding. It is. Many times I just have to say, nope, I'm not going to do that. And there are a couple times where I accidentally overbook myself. So I have to pay a little bit closer attention to when I'm scheduling things like that.
Now, do you guys have with the gymnastics club, like, do you have like special plans or packages or funds to help like single moms or young people that have like the families and want to get their kids involved to get them off the street?
So at one point we did, and it was in conjunction with a program. It wasn't the United Way, but I can't remember. We did talk about doing it more recently, like now. We talked about how to combine that, how to do that with the Monticello Rotary. So we're
Okay.
hoping that we will be able to do that in the very, very near future.
That's amazing for the little girls out there.
It was Teen Link to Community, the program who we were sort of in conjunction with when we were, I guess it would be like a scholarship, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Through Monticello.
Through Monticello, yes.
Okay, Monticello Central School. Okay.
So it wasn't the school. The TLC was a non-for-profit program, and they were in the building with United Way. TLC. I don't know if they have TLC anymore.
Yeah, I'm like, I mean, I know the United Way building.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I know TLC. I don't know.
Lisa, she supports her community completely. Yes,
she does. Now, what do you see for Tweed Talks down the road? Because I was going to say you, but we're going to get to you. But Tweed Talks, what do you see for?
I don't know, because I am constantly in my head like, how long are we going to be able to do this before whatever happens, you know, for me or for my husband? And so I really don't know. I really don't know. It's sort of like up in the air. We're still continuing because we're about to go into a new year.
Yes.
And so we're talking about new shows for this year. So.
And you guys air on Mondays at 8 p.m.
Yes,
on YouTube and Facebook.
Facebook.
I'm telling you, like, get everybody to just shift and go over to YouTube, because I'm so upset that I'm not streaming on Facebook right now. But with the clips and everything like that, I get all that
right
together. Saturday after 5:03 or something. I don't know how they determine that. Like 5:03 p.m. I can start posting pictures and videos. Oh God, I hate it. Your husband, does he still do martial arts?
Pedro teaches Tai Chi every Wednesday.
Now, I don't want to say names, but that's the only way you know who I'm talking about. Is that what Regina's in? She does Sneed. She does some sort of martial arts. No?
I don't know. I don't know who that is.
You don't know Regina McKinney Sneed? You know Regina.
Do I?
Okay, all right, okay. I'm sure you do, but you probably don't, but you do. She runs now Sullivan Orange ARC, Greater Hudson Valley. You know, you've seen her, you know who she is, but you don't know who she is.
I'm looking at her picture and I don't know her.
You don't know Gina? Oh.
And I'm not even friends with her on Facebook.
Really? She is. Now, that is a woman you would definitely want on your show. When she came on Tea Time, number one, I was amazed that she said yes, because her schedule, like yours, she's involved in everything. Mm-hmm. She is an amazing example, because she started off at ARC as a relief staff in high school.
Okay.
To end up running it.
Wow.
She is strong African-American woman from Sullivan County running things. Yes.
And I can honestly say I have never heard her name. How is that even possible?
I don't know. That's why
I've never even seen her in ShopRite, and I see everybody in ShopRite.
I don't see her in ShopRite. I hardly go in ShopRite. But I shop in ShopRite, but I don't see anybody. But yeah, she is definitely, because the way you guys' platform is and the people you have on your platform. When I say Gina is somebody, she's doing big things, and she's on the Fallsburg School Board. She has two. They're a teenager and a preteen. So she's doing the mom thing. She's running the big agency. She's doing the school board. She did one of those running. See, I'm not fit healthy like you guys. Those K runs and all.
Oh, like the 5K or 10K.
Yes, she is one of those people. So I'll see if I hope she's not mad at me for saying that she'll come on your show, whatever. But I'll send you her information.
I was gonna say I'm my stalker.
Yeah.
That is, you mentioned one thing about her. That is one thing I will not do. No school board.
I was gonna do it. I was going to do it, and it's just so much. There's so many shenanigans that go on with the school board, but they needed somebody like Regina. Like Fallsburg really needed a Regina because she's no nonsense. She doesn't play. She's about the kids, and she has kids on there. And when I was going to do it, it worked for me because my kids are grown, so it's like I didn't have an ulterior motive. Like I wasn't going in there to look out for my kids. It was all about the kids. And it was just too much. I just looked, I'm like, no, I don't have the patience. They would throw me out all the time because of things that go on there, but Regina is good. Did you guys do events that bring people together, like special events that's tied to Tweed Talks, where it brings people together to inform them and give them more information about the gymnastics thing, like flyers and look, we're going to have an event and show you what we have and what's going on, and for people that don't know. Now, I'm going to tell you how I found out about you.
About Tweed Talks?
Yeah. No, not Tweed Talks, the gymnastics school. My son's sister used to go to the school. And I'm like, there's a gymnastics school in Monticello?
When was this?
Ro is 29. She had to be around 7. She had to have been around like 7, 8.
Wow.
Early. Yeah. She had to have, but yeah, that's when I found out that there was a school there, and I had no idea. And the little girl in me got so excited because I'm like, that's what I wanted to do. But I didn't know it existed.
I can understand that because as a kid, I didn't know. Well, I grew up until I was 10 in Liberty. Then we moved to Monticello. Okay. And I didn't know about the gymnastics program until I was in high school. But probably only because I was in the orchestra and my chair partner, maybe she sat behind me, she was on my husband's competitive team.
Okay.
Yep. So that's how I found out about gymnastics. So I was maybe like 15 or 16.
So he's always been around and you just didn't know it.
Always.
Wow.
Pedro Tweed built Monticello. This is what I'm saying.
You love your husband. You love your husband.
That dude, man.
Wow. And you guys have been together now for how long?
16 years.
16
years in February. Yep.
Sweet 16. So happy early anniversary to you guys.
Thank you. In August, we hit a major milestone. Last August, we celebrated 15 years of marriage. So we went to Aruba, and we convinced his brother to become an ordained officiant online while at dinner after about 2 glasses of sangria, and he agreed to it. And he performed a beautiful beachside vow renewal ceremony.
So your whole family went, or was it just you two?
It was me, my husband, his brother's girlfriend, my mother-in-law, our youngest Layla, and then my husband's granddaughter, Ileana. So there were 7 of us that went. We had already planned the trip to go. And I said, we're going, August 14th? Our anniversary is August 9th. Okay. We need to renew our vows. So we did it while we were there.
I'm surprised. I don't know him. Because I'm not from Monticello. That's why. I'm not from Monticello, and I didn't.
Are you related to the Folsoms?
No.
Oh, okay. Do you know who they are?
No.
Somebody told me they was from Fallsburg. Maybe they're from Liberty. I don't know.
No, I'm a Hinton.
Okay.
So we're related to a lot of people.
Oh, okay.
But I don't. I don't
Not
claim
cool.
a lot of people because I'm like, no, I don't. You gotta be careful who you claim, as your family. I don't know. So I guess, is there any like things you want people to know? Any fun like about Tweed Talks, the gymnastics thing? What do you want people to know before we close it out? Something to keep in their minds. Because I want them to definitely check out. You have a page on Facebook, Tweeds Gymnastics. People need to go there and check it out. With your
Well, I mean, as far as the gym is concerned, that's one of a lot of people have asked my husband why he hasn't run for public office. And his response is always, the way he contributes to the community is by teaching the kids. And I love that.
Yes.
It makes so much sense, but we're always like, oh, Pete, you should you should run for this, you should be mayor. And people have been saying this for many, many years, and I even thought it at one point, but as soon as he said that, he responded that way. I was like, you know what, honey, you're right. You're right.
That's something to be said. That is something to be said, because politics will corrupt you. Politics will.
Many times.
Yeah. And I have Political Tuesdays. I'm getting ready to start that back up, Lord. And I hate politics. I have Political Tuesdays on Tea Time with Bunky. And I hate politics. But it's helping me know, and it's helping people know who their candidates are. Because my thing is know your candidates.
Sure.
Not just the flyers in the yard.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be surprised. Well, maybe you won't. Everyone I ask say yes. They all come on.
That's amazing.
Yep, they come on. And you want to know the person behind it. They may be putting on a front. Some people may be putting on a front, a good face. But I tell you, it helped me know a lot of people. And I got to see the behind the scenes. So I could be like, yeah, they're really a good person. Or if they're talking like 15 minutes, 20 minutes in, you could see all the shenanigans. Like, yeah, this is. But yeah, I like that. You get to know the person behind. And the few people that said no, it made sense to me. It made sense.
That's very interesting, because we really try to shy away from that.
Yes, it's hard.
But I'm thinking now, if we did, which we probably won't,
but I'm doing it constantly.
You know what people do, like that are on the committee, like the Democratic committee? They'll be like, oh, you need to go introduce yourself to Pete and Crystal.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like you need to know them.
Yeah, no, they do that. Because I'm not a Republican, I'm a registered Democrat, but I tell everybody I vote for who speaks to me, whatever speaks, Yes. But I'm sure both sides do that. They try to push their candidate.
Oh yeah. Because listen, there was a point where my husband surrounds himself with so many different people, and you have from all different walks of life, for the people that are more wealthy to, the middle class and things like that. He works with everyone. So he knows all the upper class. I'm like, oh, Pete Tweed. No, I don't know him. Should I know him? And then it's like they introduce him. It's I'm not going to say it's funny, but I'm sure it's strategic.
Yeah, it is. The way they move, I watch them, and people think, she's really into that. No, I'm not. I hate it, but I want to know. That's what it's about. And I think you guys should do it. They need more than one political show. Think about it. I know you guys are busy, but think about it.
We'll think about it.
Yeah, think about it.
One thing I do want to mention before we close is, and I have said this several times on Tweed Talks, people are very quick to say that there's nothing going on in the community.
Right.
But if you watch our page, a lot of the stuff we go to is local. We go to a lot of stuff out of town. So I will urge you guys in 2024, get involved with your community.
Because that was me. I was like, I don't see anything because I don't go out.
But there's so much. And even if it's not right here in Monticello, in Sullivan County, maybe you don't want to travel. It's okay. It's wintertime. but there's a lot of stuff going on at the Black Library all the time. I was just
Yes.
at something last Friday or something like that, where I went to the Black Library. There are art exhibits that are open, different community programs that you can get involved with. Like I said, I'm a part of the Monticello Rotary, so you can get involved with those programs. They meet weekly, year round. So,
Okay.
you know, definitely get more involved with your community and give of your time.
And that's it. Giving them and stop being afraid. I'm talking to myself. I'm not talking to anybody out there. I'm just talking to myself because I'm not a people person. So
I have a question before you leave.
absolutely.
Where
Sure.
did Bunky come from?
I don't know.
Wow.
I've had it my whole life.
Really?
Really. Really. It sounds nothing like Kanitha. Nothing. But Bunky, I don't know where it came from. I've always been Bunky. And tea time, I like tea. Conversations, that's what it's about. Two friends sitting down, having a conversation, drinking tea. Tea time with Bunky. God gave it to me.
I love that.
Thank you for asking. Nobody's ever asked me that before.
Really?
Never asked me.
Well, I know your name is Kanitha, but people on your page are always like, oh, Bunky, da, da, da. I'm like, I'm going to ask her.
Yep. I don't know where it came from. I've been Bunky my whole life.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Look, I became the interviewee. I appreciate it.
And I'm so sorry Pedro couldn't make it.
Well, he's sick and he was on. So
Yes.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you, Mr. Tweed. Feel better. Feel better. You guys be safe out there because COVID is going around like crazy. It's going around like it's crazy. And you can be vaccinated. Doesn't matter. You're still going to get it.
Right.
I've caught it 3 times and was vaccinated.
Wow, 3 times?
3 times. Right after I was vaccinated too. So it's like, but it's whatever. It's whatever. So, but thank you for your time. I appreciate you so much. Now when I see you, I can act like I know you. Huh?
Yes, you can. You can.
Yes.
And after I get over this cold, if you see me, you can give me a hug.
Okay. So you're a hugger because I'm that person. I am that person.
I'm a hugger.
Okay. All right. Because I don't like that. Oh, because I'd be like, do I go in for the hug? What do I do? So great.
Just if you're on the other side of the room, just go like this and run towards me. Crystal!
I may do it. Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. So I appreciate you. Everybody go follow them on Facebook and YouTube. Tweed Talks. Then you have the Tweeds Gymnastics. I don't know if you want them to follow your page. Look, he came in. Thank you. Oh, he's sick. I'm letting your wife go. I'm letting it go. So, so you're welcome. If they want to follow your personal page, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Pedro Tweed. So you guys got a lot to go through. As soon as I can post this video, I'm gonna post it on Facebook along with the little clips. I'll send you the clips and all that other stuff. So wait 1 second. So you guys have a great night. Thank you for watching on YouTube. I appreciate you. Tell a friend, and I will see you next year. Bye-bye.